guys, assalamu alaikum. I hope you guys are all well. This is another pregnancy video on what to expect when you find out that you're pregnant and along your pregnancy. I am now 34 weeks pregnant and feeling it. Oh my god. This is my second pregnancy, so I have baby Yahya, who is now 23 months. These are just things that I have learned along the way throughout both of my pregnancies, and I thought I'd just share them with new mums. So I have had loads of cravings this time, and it's mainly been like sweets and like really bad junk food, hence why I'm put on a lot of weight this pregnancy, which is going to be very difficult to get off. But cravings are basically your body telling you what your baby needs. So if you are craving loads of sweets or loads of salt or loads of whatever it is, it's basically your baby is lacking in those areas. So that's kind of my excuse when I tell my husband I need like a bunch of sweets. He's like, that's not craving, Mariam, that's just you. I don't believe him. Nobody told me this, but in my first pregnancy I noticed it, and then this pregnancy it happened again, so I was like, this is definitely pregnancy related. But basically, if you've got any like beauty marks or any growths or anything like that, you'll notice some like increase in size, and it was so worrying for me because I was like, oh my god, what is going on here? But I looked into it, and it's basically just because your body has 3 times more blood flow than normal, so it's basically just stimulating that area even more so. So if you have got any moles or anything or any growths, they will get bigger. However, if there's anything that has grown or you're a bit worried about it, do get it checked out. So it may not just be the pregnancy, so do get it checked out, go to your doctor. There's no harm in doing it, and don't get freaked out about it either. So everyone tells you to drink loads of water, and I get that, that's fine, and especially in your 3rd trimester you are supposed to drink 300 milliliters of water extra a day. So what I do is use these little bottles, I fill them up every night, put them in the fridge because I am craving like ice cold stuff. Even though my mum always tells me you shouldn't have anything cold, you should always drink things warm, but I'm pregnant, so it's a bit different, right mum? But yes, definitely try and drink as much water as possible. It prevents water retention as well as the swelling in your feet and your hands, or if you get swelling anywhere else. Baby movements, you can, or in your second pregnancy, you start feeling them a little bit earlier, so I definitely did. From my second trimester, I was feeling baby's movement, so it was really, really obvious to me about the timings and things like that, and the nurses would always say to me, you know, baby will not have consistent movement after like, you know, 30 weeks or 28 weeks pregnancy, so don't kind of rely on it that much. But what I would highly recommend is to monitor the movement. So once you do start feeling movements, have a little notepad. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, and you can just literally write down the times of when you felt baby moving. Just keep it in your bag or next to your bed or wherever, just because if there is any changes in baby's movement, you will need to know. And when you go to the midwife to get checked, they will ask you these questions as well, so you want to be prepared. There's no harm in going to the hospital. Definitely, if you see a change in baby's movement, then do just pop in. And when I'm saying dips, I'm not saying, oh my god, I haven't felt baby move for 2 or 3 days. If you haven't felt baby move that evening or that day, go straight away. It is so important. And also having that notebook letting you know when baby has been moving just keeps you a bit updated, because you will have baby brain. I definitely have baby brain, and it's just, you know, on another level at this stage. Okay, so stretch marks, you don't just get them on your belly, okay? So if people tell you to rub oil and butter and everything on your belly, no. Do it on your belly, but you'll get stretch marks on your thighs, on your hips, on your back, everywhere if you do not put belly butter on. I'm currently using rosehip oil with a combination of the Burt's Bees Mama Bee belly butter, and it's working a treat. So don't forget to do that from trimester number 1. As soon as you find out you're pregnant, just start doing your thighs, your legs, your hips, your back and your belly, as well as kind of your, you know, top half area, because they do go big in size as well after you've given birth and just before your 3rd trimester. So you do want to make sure that you're not getting kind of like, you know, stretch marks in those areas as well. I don't know if this is for me, but I've heard a lot of other women feel the same way, that for the first kind of like 3 to 5 months, your husband will not kind of clock that you're pregnant, or he'll not pay as much attention just because, and I mean, Zahid was great, but men in general just are a bit oblivious to these things unless you communicate with them. So for me, the main thing was that I had to just keep on communicating with Zahid, letting him know what was going on, keeping him in the loop and keeping him involved. You're the one carrying the baby, so your partner, your husband, doesn't kind of like get it as much as you do, because you're feeling the baby movement. You're the one who's growing. You're the one who's like, you know, feeling everything. So he kind of just needs to be kept in the loop to be involved, if that makes sense. So for me, that was a big thing with Yahya. And then with this baby, it's even more so, because I think when it's your first baby, the guys tend to be a bit more excited. I don't know, he's still excited, but the guys are just a bit more intrigued by all the different changes. Whereas the second time, it's kind of like, yeah, we did that with Yahya kind of thing. Well, yeah, I know, but this is a new baby and I want some attention. So you kind of gotta just give it to them. Okay, so everyone talks about nesting in pregnancy, like, you know, you want to clean everything and blah, blah, blah. Before baby comes, you will have this urge to just want to clean the house spotless. And if you haven't got that yet, and if you're in your first or second trimester, what I would highly recommend is to do an organized kind of like calendar in your diary, and just say when you want what done, because when you get to that stage, in your nesting stage, you'll just be like focusing on the bookshelf, or focusing on the kitchen, or the kitchen cabinets, and on top of the kitchen shelves, and this and that. And what you really want to be doing is making sure that the carpets are going to be cleaned, the walls are going to be painted if they're going to need to be painting, the skirting boards, you know, the curtains are washed, all those kind of major bits that you can do now. Do them in your first and second trimester, and then when you get to your nesting stage in your third trimester, or whenever that might be, then you can like go in on whatever you want to go in on, like clear out all your cupboards, clear out everything. It's the best thing to do just before baby comes, because it's nice to have a fresh home for a fresh baby. I know it's going to be difficult for me because I've got Yahya, who, for those of you that don't know, is an absolute terror with toys. So this area behind me, I have created as his, I don't know if you can see it, but I have created for his like toy space area, and I clean it up at least 3 or 4 times a day. It is a nightmare, as well as constantly using antibacterial on it, because he just gets his sticky fingers everywhere. Your back pain and your hip pain will be a crucial thing during your pregnancy. For me, it was a big thing, because with Yahya, I had pelvic girdle pain, which was so painful I had to even go to hospital a few times. And then with this pregnancy, I'm just feeling it a lot on my hips, so I'm finding that I can't move as much. But as long as you're aware of it, there are things that you can do to prevent it, or to help ease the pain. So lots of physio, lots of like nice warm baths, lots of massages. With Yahya, because of the pelvic girdle pain, I used to have a massage literally every week. I know that's a bit excessive, but I was in so much pain. With this pregnancy, it's not so bad that I need to have a massage all the time, but I am finding that like baths and like things like that are really helping me. And just being able to sit down on the sofa just for like 10-15 minutes when you've got a little one, that is like heaven. Sleeping on your back is no more, unfortunately. For me, it was like such a comfortable way to sleep, but there's loads of studies out there, but they do suggest not to do it, because they have been linked to like stillbirths and things like that, and you want to avoid anything that can harm the baby. So just by sleeping on your side and having a really good pregnancy pillow would really, really help. However, I know the urge to sleep on the back. I totally get it. And if in the middle of the night you find yourself sleeping on your back, you can just literally just roll over and sleep on your side as well. It's not a big deal. It's basically just the air supply that goes to yourself, so you'll be short of breath, and then that will then go off to baby. But that's kind of like after a while. I would look into it. I'll put a link down below. So if you are having your second baby, and when you do have your second baby, well, for me, I completely forgot what it was like with Yahya. I think it was because I did hypnobirthing, and I kind of like hypnotized myself into like this trance, and like was very chilled with my birth. But I don't remember it, and I'm freaking out now, because I'm like, oh my God, what if it's really, really bad? What if I can't get back into the zone? What if I can't like control my pain and blah, 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 blah. What I think is a really good idea if this is your first pregnancy is to, straight after you've had your baby, write down a little story about your labour. It is something that I have done recently, but there's so many things that I've missed out because I speak to Zahid about it and he's like, no, we did this and this and this is this as well. And I was like, oh, okay. Don't even remember any of that. So it's really important just to write it down after you've given birth, because sometimes it might be something that like your daughters might want to ask you, or your daughter-in-law, whoever it might be, when you're older, and it's one of those things that you want to be able to repeat and tell everyone, because it is a very personal, secretive story that you and your husband go through, and it's quite nice to share that with your daughter. And the main thing to note is that everything will be okay. Billions of people have done this before. You will be absolutely fine. Your hormones and emotions will be all over the place. So do bear that in mind. And if anything happens during your pregnancy, so like if you get into some major arguments with people, or you're so upset and everyone's just like, it's down to her pregnancy, it's down to her pregnancy, it might well be. So, I mean, I'm so much more snappier now. I think my sister can vouch for that because I'm so mean to her at the moment. It's really bad. I hope this has been helpful, and inshallah I will see you guys soon. If you guys are pregnant, congratulations, and everything will be okay. I am telling you, just listen to positive stories and have a positive mental attitude about the whole experience. And just think about how blessed you are to be in that position, how fortunate you are. If you haven't done so already, please do comment, like, and subscribe to my channel just to see more of these kind of videos. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.